Have you ever stopped to think about the weight that exists in admitting someone is better than you? I'm not talking about a compliment thrown into the air, the kind we give out of politeness. And recognizing that, in the end, another guy went further. Now imagine doing that when you spent your entire life believing you were the chosen one, the destined, the prince of a warrior race born to be unbeatable. That's Vegeta. And this moment I'm about to tell you isn't just about Dragon Ball. It's about something everyone, at some point in life, will have to face. Close your eyes for a second. Try to put yourself in his place. You're born as heir to an empire. Your father is king. Your people are feared across the entire galaxy since childhood. They tell you that you're special, that your power has no limits, that the universe will bow before you, and then everything crumbles. Your planet is destroyed. Your people are exterminated. You survive, but as a servant to the same tyrant who ended everything you loved. Years and years swallowing humiliation. Doing dirty work for Frieza, swearing to yourself that one day you'll have your revenge. Pride is the only thing keeping you standing. You train like a madman. To yourself. To your father's ghost. To the entire universe that doubted you. And when you finally arrive on Earth, ready to show your power, some guy appeared, a third-class Saiyan, a baby who was sent away because he was too weak, a guy raised by humans who didn't even know his own origin. And this guy beats you. Take a deep breath. Feel what that means. It wasn't just any defeat. It was the destruction of everything you believed about yourself. The entire narrative holding you up collapsed like a sand. But Vegeta didn't give up. Of course not. Saiyan Pride doesn't allow it. He trained harder, got stronger, achieved Super Saiyan, something he thought impossible. And every time he got close, Goku was one step ahead. Super Saiyan 2, Goku achieved it too. Super Saiyan 3, Goku went beyond. It was like chasing the horizon. You give everything you have. Your legs burn, your lungs beg for air. And the finish line keeps moving away. Now, think about what that does to a person over the years. The frustration that keeps building up. The anger directed not just at your rival, but at yourself. The sleepless nights wondering, why am I not enough? What does he have that I don't? Vegeta carried this for decades. Literally. And then came the moment to face Majin Buu. That pink creature with absurd power was destroying everything. Goku had already given what he could. Gohan was out of the fight. There was no one else. Only Vegeta. And they're facing total destruction. Something happened inside him. Something that had perhaps been growing in silence all those years, but that he never allowed to surface. He thought about Bulma, about the life he'd built on Earth, about the people who, against all odds, had become important to him, and he thought about Goku. Not with anger this time, not with envy or resentment. Those words came out of him as if they were tearing a piece of his soul away, because they were true. And Vegeta finally stopped fighting against that truth. It was because Goku fought for others. His strength came from wanting to protect, from genuine connections, from a heart that didn't carry the weight of pride like armor. While Vegeta spent every training session trying to surpass someone, Goku spent every training session trying to surpass himself. You live in a constant state of comparison, insufficiency, bitterness. Vegeta spent his entire life trying to be number one, and he discovered that the moments when he was truly great had nothing to do with ranking. They were when he protected Bulma from Beerus, even knowing he'd get beaten badly, when he trained with future Trunks, when he faced impossible enemies, not out of pride, but because it was the right thing to do. He became a better warrior when he stopped fighting against Goku and started fighting alongside him. We live in a culture that glorifies competition, that tells you to be the best, to beat others, to prove your worth by stepping on whoever comes your way. But maybe true power lies in something else, in recognizing greatness in others without diminishing your own, in using others' strength as fuel, not as a threat, in understanding that there isn't just one number one, there are different people with different journeys, shining in different ways. Vegeta cried that day, the prince of all Saiyans, the warrior who never showed weakness, let the tears fall. And in those tears there was more strength than in any Gallic gun he ever fired. Because crying isn't weakness. Admitting the truth isn't weakness. Letting go of the pride that suffocates you isn't weakness. It's liberation. So I ask you, and I want you to really think before answering, what weight are you still carrying, trying to prove you're better than someone? And what would happen if you simply let go